This is about as wild of a garden as I can think of to grow and still have it be somewhat maintainable. Welcome everybody to my small urban lot, my single lot. I wanted to do an update on the comfrey. I think you can see some bees having fun on the comfrey behind me, and to look at some Haskaps and some other things that are growing. So this is a single lot, and it's hard to videotape here because the neighbors are so close, but we'll try and keep them out of the video here. What we've tried to do here is we've tried to create these garden beds filled with perennials and native flowers. This here is an elderberry. We tried to trim that down, but they grow so fast that there's not really much we can do, which is a great thing to have on a property, is that much food. This is the Comfrey Wall that I had videotaped earlier, and there still seems to be some sort of dog or something like that that keeps crashing through here, which is okay, but it has knocked down a lot more of it. Today I don't have time to be cleaning up all of that, so I'm going to make this video and cut grass where I can. But this kind of gives you, I chopped all this down. You can see it's still got plenty of growth coming back already. If you look at my earlier video, I'll try to put a little link to it. But this is a comfrey wall that stops. Not only does it produce all sorts of nectar sources for different insects and bees and all that, but it also creates a huge amount of material, like organic material, that you can use to mulch. And it's a deep-rooted accumulator, so it's pumping up. I mean, it's grabbing nutrients from way below the surface, much deeper than some of your other plants would get. So let me take you around here, kind of show you the pathway, one of the pathways. Before we mow it, I said we got an elderberry here, we got a patch of asparagus, there's another elderberry. They're giving us all sorts of food. At the end of the summer, there's some more asparagus, and we've thrown clover seeds just about everywhere. And one of the key bushes that we wanted to plant here were these Haskaps, or these honeyberries. You can see they're just about loaded with fruit. This is the third year that this plant has been here, as well as that one and that one. And it's kind of nice because these berries are kind of tart and sweet, and they're kind of on a range. So it's interesting, the smaller berries that you grab, say, like, well, one of these, oop, I just dropped it. Try and give you a good example. So this would be reasonably tart, but if you got one that was like the one that just fell, let me see if I can grab it. Yeah, I got it. That would be really sweet. And these aren't going to put on too much fruit this year. And I'm also battling rabbits and other animals that like yummy fruit. But there's definitely handfuls of food on each one of these this year. So I'm a really big fan of those bushes. But I'm also a fan of all these Jerusalem artichokes that we have planted. We got another comfrey there. There's a whole bunch of wild Senna and whatever else planted throughout right around this maple tree. Because it's kind of hard to get anything planted around the roots of such a big tree. But we've done pretty well with wildflowers and clover and things like that. We have kind of a wild assortment of everything that we could think of. Here we have a currant that we planted this last year. And this is growing. All that green growth you can see there is all from this year, which is quite a lot. And we've basically just filled it in with every bit of native plant that we can get. Now, to fill in a lot of the wild spaces, we've actually ordered plants from our local county and soil water district. They do a plant sale every spring. We order them in January, and we get to fill in all of our spaces. So this was one of the pear trees that we had pruned right here. It was about 5 foot taller, 7 foot taller. It was crazy, but you can see how well it has bounced back and vigorously grown. We have another one right here, and I got to be careful as I walk through here because some of this stuff is just, you know, insane amounts of wild lettuce. right? I guess edible. I've never really tried it, but that's wild lettuce. All this is wild lettuce. And we have lovage right here, which is something we haven't done a very good job of managing. But this grows back every year. It's a perennial, and I'm afraid that if we don't start managing it better, it's gonna choke itself out. So that'd be another project for another day. But here's another one of our pears, and that, as you can see, we cut right there, and it's doing its very best to put on as much growth as possible. And we'll prune it midsummer just to get it looking right, and we'll enjoy it for years to come. Another real cool part of this property, because it's in the neighborhood, you get toys lost in your yard, so you got something to play with. And I also think that means that might be why dogs are running through here. Well, this might actually, come to think about it, I might actually just run the mower right here. So there actually is a pathway, because I'm pretty sure I haven't planted any bushes there. Just kind of like this. And then if we go to the backyard, but really this property used to have a home right here, and then it burned down, and then I put wood chips all over it and just started planting madly all over the place. There's more Haskaps in there. I'm not sure what that is. Wild lettuce, I'm not sure what that is. Currants, pear, all sorts of different bushes and wildflowers and whatever else you have in there. So it's growing immensely, and it's growing really fast this year, and we're super happy about it. But it takes some maintenance, so I gotta grab the lawnmower. Oh, sorry. This is about as wild of a garden as I can think of to grow and still have it be somewhat maintainable. I was thinking about this as I was cutting the grass. This big old wide area, maybe not enough room to throw a football in, but that's okay. We want gardens, not places for football, so we got parks for stuff like that, right? But this is really cool, I think, the effect that just mowing it and the swooping nature of the pathways. And as things grow up on the corners, it'll become less and less distinguishable, so you're actually going through, and to have the front part of the property really blocked off by like those cedars and other evergreen bushes would really close this whole space in. You can see we share a space here with the neighbor, and he's a nice guy, and he's just happy to see the land doing something. So if you were thinking about doing some sort of landscaping, all of this would fit next to your house. You'd still have pathways, and you'd still have your big old maple tree in the front yard. Because if you can see where the house is over there, basically the old house was right here, and I've just pushed the boundaries of it with all the wood chips quite a bit, because like I said, I wanted more garden. This will end up being some sort of cool walking area, sitting area, reading book area. But this property is already producing more food than I even know of, and some plants I forget. Like I know this is wild Senna, but the name of this escapes me. I think we have bee balm pretty much throughout here, all the way up. There's one blank spot here where I'd like to get a couple of bushes, or maybe I was thinking a couple of hazelnuts, maybe a couple of Nanking cherries, something like that. And then in the next year or two, as you can see, all these plants are creating new soil. All the wood chips are breaking down. I'll be able to start planting a couple trees in there. But as it stands right now, it's a really pretty spot with all these. There's an Asian pear. Kind of get confused on some of the stuff I buy, I forget. There's a tag somewhere, but it'll have pears this year. We didn't actually trim this one because it was looking kind of ragged, but it's got multi-stem, and that's pretty low. So this tree will eventually be really not much more higher than this. You'll be able to walk by and grab your fruit. Yeah, we'll swing around here so you can see what we've done with around this maple tree. These are all sunchokes. See, they're just bush. You got them over here, so a lot of the neighbors will just think that they're sunflowers. They won't realize that there's all that food and tubers. And we've got some more comfrey at the top. Got our monarch Waystation sign. We have plenty of milkweed for monarchs, and we have plenty of other things for all of the other butterflies to eat and make cocoons and make babies, and have all sorts of things in here. I'd say, yeah, I don't know, dozens and dozens of species that I planted, and a few dozen more that have come up on their own, like another maple, and some, I'm gonna remember it, arugula. No, maybe not arugula. Maybe. I'll have to double check that one. I'll put this in my pocket. I was getting a phone call right when I was doing the first ending. So this is the one you're gonna get now. Yeah, remember, make sure you click on that other video, because just cutting these couple of this little span up filled like a third of my truck bed. So coming through and clearing all that out, I just don't have the energy or the water in me, and it's about to rain. So I'll ask a friend for help, and we'll come back on a later date. So thank you for watching. You have a great day gardening and throwing clover seeds everywhere. Okay, bye-bye.